The next terrifying videos seem to be relatively new to the internet and have the fewest views I could find. Some appeared to have no views at all, which makes you the very first person to see them. Number 10. Because Anthony lives near a lot of abandoned farmland that he's always wanted to discover, he grabs his camera and it takes him the entire day to poke around. Even though he has no idea what happened to this land or the reason why it was abandoned, the more he learns, the less alone he feels.
There's a bed in here. Hello?
It appears that the structures are all single-story structures in numerous states of decay, and each one is distinct in its own way. He is very nervous by the time he reaches the main house and notices eyes on him from afar. If you hear any whispering when he opens the door, please let me know.
Makes me weary.
Though I believed it could be the crunchy springs of an old screen door or something, it definitely sounds like voices. In any case, the inner part of the house is fairly well kept, especially in comparison to the other structures, but the implacable unholy aura becomes stronger with each step he takes. Anthony becomes nauseous at one point due to an abandoned nursery room.
This was a kid's room, and I feel so uneasy. I feel dizzy.
Something bad had to have occurred here. Anthony explores the rest of the house, including the basement, without incident. Even though he's all set to leave, there's one last astonishment waiting for him on the way out.
What the f was that? Something literally kicked the door.
The door slams shut with a short and discourteous slam, the similar kind that homeowners use when they are annoyed that someone has come to their door. I don't believe Anthony closed the door by himself because he was out of reach at the time. And even though perhaps it's just me, I believe I can notice some type of shadowy mist in the window on the right, which happens to be in the same room he was just in. Number 9. Darren's Northern Life, who is carrying out some last-minute hunting at the end of the season, is a YouTuber. He notices a parked truck early on and realizes that other hunters must be nearby, implying that everyone should be extra cautious. A short time later, he discovers himself in one of the most serious situations imaginable for a hunter.
Oh my goodness, that bullet just came over my head.
When Darren hears the shot, he scrambles for cover at the back of some trees. It appears that the other hunters haven't yet noticed they're shooting at someone else and appear to be out of shouting range.
This guy's gonna f***ing kill me.
Darren attempts to look for a safe place and is unable to believe what has just occurred. Later, he returns to the truck and takes down their license plate. They are returning by accident as well.
Taking pictures of the license plate. Is something wrong? Everything all right?
Somebody shot at me.
They believe it was a dissimilar individual and not a member of their party. If there is not any concrete proof, I don't believe Darren has much legal recourse other than to upload the video and make the event public. Please tell me whether you believe he has sufficient evidence to press charges based on what you've seen. Number 8. Scud Newbie seems to be on his way to a local hangout spot and decides to make a quick YouTube video along the way. Although the roads are slick from the rain, and visibility is not high, Scud has skateboarded this route 1,000 times before and is unconcerned. When he make an error of looking down for a fraction of a second, he's about a street away from his end of the line.
That car almost hit my.
If you watch it again, you'll notice that it was a very close call. It seems that the vehicle passes by far too quickly and doesn't even have time enough to honk. Scud Newbie laughs it off and continues on his way. Although it's difficult to say who was at fault, I'm happy everyone is okay. Number 7. Upbeat Jason wears a helmet cam and goes by BMX bikes around the neighborhood with a friend. The video says mostly a beautiful view of the countryside until he encounters some neighbors with aggressive dogs who are not on a leash. Instead of taking a different route, Jason attempts to get around them and immediately discovers himself flanked on both sides.
Ah! There, go fast!
A dog seems to lunge at Jason, his jaws snapping. Although I don't believe they make any contact, the sound of their bark indicates that they are preparing to attack. They would have clearly guarded their territory whether Jason had stayed, which he does not. even though he hears barking at the back of him, and the chase resumes, just as he thinks he's gotten a good distance away. Before anything else occurs, an adult comes to pick him up and suddenly loads their bikes into the back of their truck. I sincerely wish the two friends never ride their bikes past that house again. Number 6. Contagious Noise, who brings his sweetheart and her sister to an ancient barn just outside of town, armed with a Ouija board, is a YouTuber. They are certain that this barn is spooked and thus the ideal location to communicate with the other side. At first, even though the group laughs and jokes around, it isn't long before the circumstance becomes dangerously serious. Please let me know whether the pointer appears to be moving on its own here.
On my grandma, I'm not doing it. Garrett?
I swear on everything. I'm not. Look at my fingers. R.
They soon make contact with the spirit of a 4-year-old boy named Ryan. They appear to be attempting to ask it more questions when it suddenly spells out the name Grace, which is one of the girls' names. The spirits do not appear to want to provide any genuine answers. From time to time, the Ouija board just randomly spells letters. A random noise affirms their misgivings just when they begin to suspect a spirit is messing with them.
Or ask who the 4-year-old was. Why they're here?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Each of them swears that they are not joking and make up their mind to try again. The Ouija board appears to spell out one only word this time.
Help.
Say goodbye.
Number 5. A young boy seems to be watching television by himself when he decides to make a video for fun. After a while, because he wants to do something in another room, he puts the phone down for a minute and records this creeper outside his window by chance. Over the course of a minute, someone takes a secret look through the window several times. Because I believe those are metal bars on the windows, this area has been subjected to break-ins, in which case there was going to be another. However, as soon as the figure vanishes, this weird floating orb emerges, so it's possible that this is some type of the paranormal intruder instead. Number 4. Beroz H is convinced that his house is spooked, and he claims that this video proves it. His little dog TJ is always snarling in the corner of his bedroom for some reason at all time. TJ Dennis giving up despite Beroz's demonstration that there is nothing of interest in the corner other than some old suitcases. TJ eventually discovers something that is leaving the room that is invisible to the naked eye. Even though nobody knows what this dog was seeing, I believe it appeared to be a spiritual presence of some kind. And perhaps an intense event occurred here in the past and left a paranormal energy behind. Number 3. Jack WGN, who has a number of videos demonstrating his apparent ability to control objects with nothing more than his own energy force, is a YouTuber. While he is focusing on, he circles his hands over a lock. It won't be long before he sees the fruits of his labor. Jack not only is able to thrust the lock over without touching it but also is able to stay it balanced at an unusual angle for nearly 10 seconds before dropping. The only explanation I can think of is that there was a magnet underneath the table, which I suppose is possible. Next, Jack holds a steel fork in both hands and imagines the utensil softening like butter. With some easy twists, he binds the fork in a knot with his bare hands. Although I'm not sure how difficult this is to do, it appears hard to me. I'd really appreciate it if someone could tell me whether this is a genuine display of energy manipulation or just a trick. Number 2. Jill Pravo, who is below ground level of a rental property when she notices a raging house cat that is guarding the top of the stairs, is a landlord. Within seconds, the enraged hissing animal attacks her. If you pay attention to this part, you'll see the cat attack her purse with all of its ability.
No! Stop it!
Jill merely keeps it in front of her as a shield. In other respects, this rabid animal could effortlessly have climbed up her leg.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
There is not any place to run but up the stairs, past the cat. She suddenly takes a broom and stays trapped in the house until the owner returns.
Get away. This cat just attacked me.
It is not until you notice that cats instinctively seek out areas that cause the most damage, such as the face and throat, that this video is extremely strange. It is a domestic house cat, but it is defending its region with everything it has, so who knows what would have occurred whether the owner had not arrived in time to save Jill. Number 1. A YouTuber named Angie the Green-Eyed Angel is discovering a completely deserted ghost town after midnight. She hasn't yet finished introducing her video when strange things begin to occur. Although I spent a couple to listen, I can actually hear the wind whispering her name here.
Abandoned ghost town. Hopefully you can see it behind me. I swear, I just heard my name.
The wind appears to have other things to say as well. Weird noises go on pursuing Angie when she sneaks through ancient buildings riddled with spiderwebs and decaying architecture. Angie comes to a halt after about 20 minutes of discovering and believes she sees a grayish figure looking back at her.
Oh, I don't know if the camera can even see it.
Footsteps from at the back of scream her into the night. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every day. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of my other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy.